fat cat ready? You little dorky dog ready? Huh? Huh? You want to come up here? Yo, there you are. You guys saw the fat cat. She has come. Fat cat. You show everyone your booty hole right here at the beginning of the show? Yeah? Oh, there's the booty hole. There it is. Oh, yeah. Hey, fat cat. How you doing, bud? All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Don't get your tail in my drink, please. It's a little short show today. I apologize. Busy with holiday stuff yesterday. And today I would have started the show earlier, but the subreddit has grown so fast. It is ridiculous. 2 weeks ago, we were at 6,000 subscribers, members, whatever you call it. Last week, we were at 7,000, and now we're over 8,000. And it took like 3 hours today just to do the moderation. It's insane. Some of the posts are getting like 40,000 likes and 10,000 comments, and it's bonkers. I don't know what in the algorithm is pumping that little subreddit to the masses, but it's now the fifth ranked subreddit for creators and influencers. What the hell? Like, why aren't they watching the show right now? That's insane. So welcome everybody to Houston. We have so much moderation that has to get done. So a little short show today because I couldn't do one yesterday. We'll do a show tomorrow as well. Not sure exactly what time. I've got to do a little more work on my car. I ripped out everything this weekend, dried out the airbag module. It was fixed for like 10 minutes and then went back to being an electric nightmare. So I have to rip it all apart again tomorrow. And I think I'm just going to take the airbag module out and just let Jesus take the wheel from that point forward. And then pick my mom up at the airport because she's been at a wedding. And you have to move your butt. I can't use the mouse. So yeah, I'll get a show in some point tomorrow. Not sure exactly when, but we'll get one in there. Headlines. Hey Ross put up a great post talking about how BNY Mellon is now allowed to be a custodian for blockchain securities in a separate account from bank accounts that cannot be lent out, used, commingled, any of that stuff. It is purely custodial account. Very interesting because BNY Mellon appears to be the transfer agent for what was left of Bed Bath & Beyond stock. So that's interesting. And what else is the news? There was a BBBY filing today that had a boatload of redactions in it as to who was being talked with and about what in these legal filings. So, or billing hours, I should say. So, interesting. Why is a company that's supposedly dead redacting things about strategy in legal filings? Weird. I bet Platinum Sparkles would have an answer to that, wouldn't she? And Trump's brain shut down yesterday in the middle of a Q&A in Pennsylvania. He took 5 questions. He was with Kristi Noem, the governor of South Dakota, and he basically was like, I don't want to take any more questions. Let's listen to music. And then bopped to his favorite tunes for about 45 minutes, and before everyone just kind of wandered away. It was very peculiar. On the converse side, in an interview that Kamala Harris was doing, she brought up astrology and constellations. Astrology doesn't exist. It's not real. Don't do astrology. Don't make it a reason why you're making decisions or for why things are happening in your life. My mason jar of water has more effect upon me through the forces of nature than any star or planet you see in the sky, except for maybe the sun and the moon. So constellations don't mean shit. They just are random allocations of stars throughout the galaxy, and just we like to organize things and attach order to stuff. So we see little, like, oh, if we draw these lines, we can make a crab, right? And then we make it into a crab. We do the same thing with clouds. You don't see people doing cloudology, talking about how clouds in the sky are making it so that you can't get laid. So yeah, just don't. Okay, that's a short little intro. Let's intro. Bing. Oops, bing. Okay, turn you off. Attaining oneness, Trump has actually for years loved musicals, and Broadway, like, loves them. That's, to me, it seems like the weirdest thing in the world. He seems like one of those dudes who like, can't synthesize music in his brain. But I guess, you know, he's got his dance moves, or the dance moves where he's like jerking off NBA All-Stars. But like, it's amazing to me that he is a show tune lover. I mean, I went to a concert on Sunday. I had a friend visiting from LA. She's like, hey, let's go to this luau tiki bar thing. So we went and we saw a tiki lounge band play. And the musicians were competent. The lady who was the singer was the wrong type of singer to have for a tiki luau. She was definitely a theater kid. Like a theater kid in her 50s who sang like she was doing show tunes for these like easy listening beach surf music. And it was jarring and kind of grating. Why do theater kids sing like that? I never understood why they sing like that. It's the most unpleasant form of singing I've ever heard in my entire life, and they all do it. I did theater as a kid, and I did not do musicals because I just could not stand the way theater kids sang. But here they are. Trump loves them, apparently. Okay, Colin was first. Good job. Colin Cost with a nice pump at the end of today. Also picked up my first 1,000 no labs in today's dip. It has been doing a bit of dipping, hasn't it? Vizio guy, so I'm second or third in this case. Second. Lee Meadows was third. Donkey Potato. Ni hao. Colin, second Vizio, welcome. Colin Rage, fourth. Fifth? Lost on Island. If there aren't enough questions, you can just put some music on and sway back and forth. Let's just listen to Sinead O'Connor and Ave Maria. Like Welcome to the Jungle or something like that. It was just Sweet Child of Mine. That's what he put on. Sweet Child of Mine. Just bonkers. Movie count 2. Houston. Did you listen to Salvatore's Space Call today on BBBY? If so, what do you think? I did not have a chance to listen to it yet. If you guys can give me an update, I would love to hear that. Kato Karaoke, and he's disappearing. Where are you going? He's leaving. All right. Oh, he's going to go bother the dog, isn't he? Yes. So yeah, I'll have to, if it's recorded, I can listen to it tonight. If not, someone send me a little synopsis, and I will gladly read that. Attaining oneness, David Duke endorsed Jill Stein. There's yet another red flag for you. Attaining oneness, 250,000 early voting day 1 in Georgia. Awesome. Early voting in Florida is way down, and it's probably due to hurricanes. At this point in 2020, there was like 2.5 million early votes had gone through, and right now they're like 600,000. So my guess is early voting in Florida has been severely impacted by hurricanes. I mean, you got precincts in places that are probably still in ruins. Folks who have not returned home yet because they don't have a home. So there's probably lots of issues there. Marcella Giordano, Houston. Happy birthday. Did you read about FEMA having to pull volunteers in North Carolina due to armed militias? Yes. My opinion is that Putin is loving this. Think about it. This is pure asymmetric warfare. You can't take on the United States head on. So what you do is you've got bot and troll networks all over. You pay for influencers and commenters and media personalities to repeat things and to, come up with these crazy conspiracy theories. And you get them to not vaccinate. You get them to eat raw meat. You get them to drink raw milk. You get them to avoid health standards like washing your hands. You get them to not evacuate during storms. And when the storms come through, to attack and distrust the aid workers who are there to help you, right? And most recently, they're now trying to bring back lead paint by telling people, the whole reason they got rid of lead paint was because it blocked these dangerous radio waves that are trying to control your mind. So they're getting people to like slurp on lead, eat, contaminated foods, voluntarily expose themselves to preventable diseases, get themselves so they won't like get aid when they're in need of aid, or hurt the aid workers. It is just the goofiest thing, and it all seems to me like my conspiracy is all straight up asymmetrical warfare from Kremlin disinformation agents. It's just, I mean, yes, there are dumb people who will believe this and probably will come up with it, but the minute one of these weirdos comes up with one of these ideas, the bot networks run with it, because there's at least 20 to 30% of the population who are just awful. Doesn't matter what you do. 20 to 30% of the population are just terrible, 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 terrible people, or just so stupid they just go along with the terrible people. I mean, one of the things in the New York Times poll that came out was 1 in 5 millennials think Hitler had some good ideas. Not millennials, sorry. Generation Z. 1 in 5 Generation Z. But this compares with, in 2016, 1 in 5 Trump voters thought ending slavery was wrong. So, yeah, you're going to get people trying to take out FEMA aid workers and our social media platforms are just allowing this to run because they aren't doing anything about these bot networks or the troll farms or the disinformation agents. They've been cowed by it's free speech. These are private companies. Free speech does not apply. They can easily do something about it to protect their users against fake users. The amount of negative karma accounts I've got to delete every single day is, I wonder if I can pull it up. Let's pull up how many have been just vaporized just in the last couple weeks here. Okay. Go there. We go to okay, I can do it on my phone. Let's see if I can figure it out. Okay, that's the mod queue. That is, gotta go there. Gotta go to mod tools, and then mod log. Yeah, whatever. Okay, that's mod tools, mod log. Where's the mod log on here? Oh, there we go. That's not what I wanted. Oh my god, the mod queue's already insane. I like half an hour ago I deleted like 50 things and it's already just bonkers. Okay, where are you? Mod tools. Get there. Okay, report or remove, edit under, I need the mod log. Mod log. Where's mod log on here? Mod log. Publish post, publish comments. Jesus Christ, 22,000 comments in the last 7 days? What the fuck? Okay. I click that one? Where the hell is it? So I can find it on my phone. Why can't I find it on a desktop? It's crazy. I mean, I'm probably at maybe 400 or 500 counts a day that I'm removing who have negative karma, who are obviously bots or trolls. And I can see it on my phone. Why can't I do it here? 994 posts and comments have been reported today. 900. That's why it took me 3 hours today. 994 reports today alone. So, I can't bring it up here. I don't know how to find it on this. My phone's so easy. It just goes mod report and then pops up. Okay, rules saved, automated filters, autonomous. Mod log. There we go. The mod log. Okay, time frame, actions. We want. Where are the bands? Post comments, post mod team, chat, time frame, username, post URL. Okay, now it's showing me completely different options as to mod team actions. Done. Nope, that wasn't it. Select all. Done. Okay. Okay, well, let's just look at the general here. Just the general. Okay. Boom. All right. This is all today. You know, removals, ban user, removals, ban user, removals, ban user, removal. This is all today. It's all today so far. It takes, and that's just since 2 o'clock. It is 3:46. So this scrolls, that's 100 different things I do of 5,000 plus. And we keep going. Ding. Removals. And we are at all the way down to 1:48 p.m. So again, this is like 2 hours ago. And it just keeps it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. So if you are going to play on the subreddit, just as a favor to me, as you may hate my guts, and so maybe you'll do this, but if you see an insane comment, like somebody's absolutely just bibbledy out of their mind, it feels like a bot or a troll, or just really terrible stance, something really racist, whatever, click on their account and see if they've got positive or negative karma. If they got positive karma, yeah, you can feel like engaging, whatever. If they have negative karma, don't engage. Just hit, flag, report, negative karma, and I'll delete it. Because if you engage, then they respond, and then you engage some more, and they respond some more, and then I spend so much time deleting every single solitary crazy person comment from that bot, and it just, it's so much of my day. I mean, seriously, we're at over 8,000 members now. It is crazy. It is insane that we're over 8,000 members. Look at this. Wait, where's the... Here we go, yeah. So, 8,500 members. We've gained 500 members since yesterday. Like, what the hell? Top 8% of sites. Number 5 site for creators and... influencers. Just it's bonkers. I am but one man trying desperately to keep his head above water in here. And I've had a hard time, like, I've been debating about bringing in other people to mod simply because I've seen what happens in other groups is that folks, they'll ingratiate themselves to you. They'll be like, hey, I can help out modding, and you give them mod permissions, and then they just like take over and they destroy the group. Our GME, our super stonk. What happened to Teddy and other, like, these groups get taken over by bad actors who ingratiate themselves and then kick out the original owner mod, and then just becomes a nightmare after that. So, ugh is right. Okay, enough whining about that. Since before half the show, I'll be Houston dancing awkwardly for 30 minutes. Just wait. I'm going to put on Ave Maria, and I'm going to disassociate and tap my hand on a lectern. And you guys are going to stand around awkwardly going, yeah, what the fuck? Namey Wolf getting a lot of new BBYQ news over the weekend. Hopefully we find out something tomorrow or for the 1 year. I don't think it's tomorrow. I think the 1 year is on Friday. So I think if we're going to hear something, it might be after close Thursday, before open Friday, or after close Friday. Those are probably the 3 most likely times. And if it doesn't happen, then let the anxiety take over. Maybe they'll do something Monday, Merger Monday or something. But there are an insane number of lotto tickets for October. They have not really had anything happening with them in the options chain. So we refresh that sucker. So these are October 18th. We still have 69,000. It's grown. 69,000 open interest for the 125s. It's grown. more people have jumped in and bought for a penny or less, purchased options at that insane level. What do we got going on? So we had a little jump yesterday. It's like 21.80, and it's sitting around $21 right now, 21.27. But we got, it's a good number in the money here, a couple million shares. If we get to 22, that puts another 2 million shares in, so we get 4 million. I think max pain is at $20.50, so we're basically almost $1 over that. So if we can get 22, which I think is a very possibility, we can get a little bit of jump. Unless, some announcement comes out and things go bonkers, or Roaring Kitty makes an appearance or whatever. Marcella Giordano. Trumpsters have reached full-blown coal status. FEMA has helped with countless hurricanes, and now suddenly they can't be trusted? It's all nonsense. I saw a TikTok from a lady last week where she was like, you ain't going to find me letting FEMA around here. And she talked about how during Hurricane Matthew, which hit North Carolina in 2017, FEMA didn't do shit. Which is true, because the state of North Carolina asked for almost $1 billion in aid, and FEMA sent $6.1 million. And who was president in 2017? Trump. The way Republicans do aid is much different than the way Democrats do aid. I mean, you had people that went years without electricity service restoration after Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico during Trump. You had folks, the response to Katrina was a complete disaster. Doing a heck of a job, Brownie. I remember that. It was 19 years ago. But the Katrina response was absolute dog shit. There's a massive difference between folks who believe the government can be used to help your life versus folks who think the government is evil want to destroy all of it. Project 2025 basically wants to get rid of FEMA entirely. So what will we do in those disaster responses if there is no one to respond in those disasters? You just let everyone die, right? Let your constituents die. I don't know what it is, like why someone wants, we'll vote for someone who will destroy their Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, make it so there's no responses to the storms they get hit with. It's like you're voting to kill yourself. I don't get it. It's a very strange mentality, and I don't understand the basis of it. Like, one of the guys that I banned today, he's been posting a lot of really trollish kind of evil things in the comments, racist, whatever. And sometimes you get curious and you click on their account to see where else they're trolling. The only political page or page they're commenting on politics whatsoever was on R. Houston Wade. Everything else they were commenting on was white guys with big dicks. That was R, white guys with big dicks. So this dude, blatant homosexual, right? He's all about these gay pages, wanting to see lots of penis, stuff like that. And then he jumps into my subreddit and starts being really homophobic towards people and really racist. And it's like, what? What? Why are you supporting a guy who wants to round you up and put you into a camp? Why? What? Do you need the thrill? It's so dangerous. This is the only way it's going to be exciting for me. I just don't get it. It's Ernst Röhm and the brown shirts all over again. Night of the Long Knives. I don't understand what it is about wanting a strong man to lead you places when that place he's going to lead you is probably into a gas chamber or something. I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. Julio gifted some memberships. Thank you, Julio. Dizzy got one. MS got one. Brandon Wells got one. Fred Jones. Mark Sloan. There we go. Thank you, Julio. Thank you so much. Okay. Antonio Baez. There's an airbag repair place in Bellevue across the street from Mercury's coffee shop headquarters. Okay. If it is the module, supposedly I can unplug it and electronics and everything will work fine. I can get a new module. It's only $100. But you have to get the module flashed to match the VIN number of the car if you get a new one. And that is an insane amount of money, even though it's just plugging in, going tick, tack, tick, click, and being done. So, it's the things you deal with when you get a $1,000 car at auction. So, Yeah. Zapdos, shout out to Monkey Butt, the fat cat, and the kitten. Kitten snuggled up like a little neck warmer all night on me last night, just going. It's a very pleasant sleep, I'll be honest. And there's the Monkey Butt. Monkey Butt says hello. Getting a shout out. Super chat from Jiga Shukla. Live near Trumpus. They seem to enjoy engaging conversation to flame you midway. These people can't be reasoned with. I don't want to say they all can't be, but the ones who show up in the subreddit can't be. And they'll say the same things over and over again. They'll, like, I don't know if you saw this weekend, they had that giant Trump rally at a farm in Coachella Valley, down in California. 15,000 people showed up. The parking lot was like 4 to 6 miles away, depending on where you're parked. And they had shuttle buses that ran people from the parking lots to the event. And then they're supposed to have shuttle buses run from people from the event to the parking lots. And Trump didn't pay. He didn't pay the bill for the shuttle buses. So the shuttle buses never showed up. They're like, hey, you're not going to pay us. I'm not going to have my workers and my buses go out there and waste fuel and everything else. And so all these folks that have been out in 109 degrees it was during that event. All of a sudden, a lot of them are elderly. A lot of them are in bad shape. Have to figure out how to get 4 to 6 miles across the desert to get back to their cars. And they're freaking out, right? Like, you got abandoned. Same thing happened in 2020 in Nebraska. It was below freezing. The buses never showed up. And people were like getting hypothermia and frostbite. It's like gluttons for punishment. I don't get it. I don't understand. But anyways, like, so someone posted the subreddit about the event in California, and the responses were like, "Nuh-uh." Like, no, they're really. There's multiple videos posted to this about people being stranded. That didn't happen. Fake news. The buses were there. It was the city's fault. The city didn't have their buses out there. It's not a city event. The city's not going to have city buses go from a farm to a car park out in the desert. It's a private event, and that's why they have shuttle buses. It's just the weirdest like propaganda, making excuses. Like, no, Trump straight up abandoned 15,000 people in the desert, and you're on your own, bro, dudes. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I mean, that's what you're going to get if you get rid of FEMA, right? Event happens, 100,000 people are in danger, and no one shows up with water. No one cares about organizing, getting everyone connected back to the grid. There's we invented society for a reason. Society exists for a reason. We banded together because it was easier and more efficient and improved everybody's lives. And now we're doing what we can to fracture society and make everyone's lives harder because for some reason we want to be big boys and independent and do it ourselves. And it's just so stupid. It's just so dumb. It goes back to the entire mission statement for the show, which is, did we create society to make everyone's lives better, or did we create society to drive revenue and maximize profit? Like, why does society exist? And we're just turning one to super chats. Thanks, Obama. Yeah, thanks, Obama. Video guy, what's your sign? My true sign or my fake sign? That's what you gotta wonder. Because there's actually 13 signs in the Zodiac. Because there were 13 months originally, because there's 13 moons throughout a year. Because the lunar cycle is about 28 days. 28 days fit into the year perfectly 13 times. And so, but at some point, 13 was deemed an unlucky number. So they changed the length of all the months, keeping only February at 28 days for some reason. And they deleted Ophiuchus as a star sign. Also, there's another problem. Because the Earth does what's called precession. Meaning, it doesn't just spin, but it wobbles like a top while it spins. It does one full wobble about once every 26,000 years. And as a result, the North Star changes. So in 12,000 years, we're going from Polaris, we'll be pointing at Vega in 12,000 years when we rotate. And as that happens, we basically do one full cycle of constellations. And how constellations are determined, like if you're born under a sign, let's say Virgo, right? That means Virgo was behind the sun when you were born. That means you were born under that sign. That the sun is marking Virgo, right? And, you know, a few months later, you have Taurus or Pisces or whatever's behind the sun. So your signs change. Well, as a result of that precession of the Earth's axis, what month is there changes. So 5,000 years ago, when the constellation system, the astrological zodiac sign system was created, yes, you were a Virgo. Like, I would have been a Gemini 5,000 years ago when I was born, right? Let's say. And today, do that precession, we're off by 6 weeks, and I'd be a Taurus. So technically, if you're born in, I don't know, like what's a Gemini? May and June. If you're born in May and June, you're actually born under Taurus. And there's people who are they're actually born under Ophiuchus, because Ophiuchus would have been that 13th sign. So like we just arbitrarily made that stuff the way it is, and people cling to it. Remember when that Russian lady was trying to sue the U.S. government for the Deep Impact NASA mission? Remember what Deep Impact was? But there was a comet. We took a 600-pound copper slug, and we fired it into a comet to watch it explode on July 4th, 2005, I believe. And this Russian lady was suing. She was an astrologer. She was like, "You're going to mess up everyone's star signs." Lady didn't even know about that thing until like a week earlier. So you weren't calculating any of that stuff in there. Javier Martinez. Guys, let's just listen to music for 45 minutes. A vote of confidence in Houston's rants. Don Cedar Shadem, if you were put in charge of SpaceX, what would you do with the company? I would focus on the moon. Forget Mars. Forget anything that had to do with Mars. Mars is stupid. Who cares about Mars? Focus on the moon. Focus on helium-3 production on the moon and rare earth elements, called creep. Potassium, rare earth elements, and phosphates. We need that stuff. And we can easily go to a carbon zero planet if we had helium-3 in large quantities here on Earth, so we could do cold fusion with it. And SpaceX would be the most powerful, richest company to ever exist if they could exploit that before everyone else. But no, Elon is focusing on Mars, and Mars has zero economic material whatsoever. It's the whole reason why Polynesians were a Stone Age people was because they didn't have access to metals, because everything was basalt, and it takes a lot of geologic activity and orogeny, mountain building, to cook the rocks in the right way, to pull out lots of silica and metals and all sorts of other minerals you get out of it. And oceanic basalt just doesn't have that stuff. So Polynesia had the largest empire on Earth by, surface of the Earth, but they didn't have any metals. And so when they got to places like South America, even though the Polynesians were gigantic, scary warriors, they got to South America, and the South Americans had swords and were like, stab. And the Polynesians were like, fuck, we can't beat this, right? And so each time they made landfall in places like South America, the South Americans kicked them out of there because they had metals. Mars is that. There are no metals on Mars. It's just basalt. There has not been enough mountain building, enough orogenies. There's no subduction zones. There's nothing on the surface to cause enough mineralization to make anything of value happen on the Martian surface, economic value. So you're just going to send people to Mars to like stand around and eventually die of some sort of preventable illness or broken bone or something. And what are you going to get out of it? Nothing. There's no economic benefit. The moon has $500 quintillion of proven helium-3 reserves. 500 quintillion. Our entire global GDP is about 80 trillion. So, trillion, 3 orders of magnitude later, you got quadrillion. 3 orders of magnitude after that, you have quintillion. So you're looking at something that is 1,000,000 times more valuable than all the economic activity on Earth is available in just the dust on the moon in one element. You could kill off oil companies. You could kill off coal companies. You could kill off natural gas companies. You wouldn't need any of it. We won't need to put any of the CO2 in the atmosphere because we could do cold fusion, which would produce basically chunks of carbon. That's about it. Non-radioactive, non-bonded to anything else to create, greenhouse gases. It's meh. Off the grid super chats. What we thinking for next bridge next? 40 million shares. What the fuck? Well, 40 million shares thing is from a long time ago. I don't think they're going to get those 40 million shares sold without the university lands. So the board needs to sue the university lands board. That's just they have to get proof that there's some bad actors involved, so that the feds can get involved and show that there's Rico violation. Because if you can show that GTS, Concord Genuity, Virtue Capital, Citadel, FINRA, someone like that was pressuring the board to deny the renewal of the lease, even though all of the stipulations for the lease were met, then that's a crime. That right there, that is Rico. That is racketeering. So you can prove that, you can get the feds involved, and something amazing can come of it. Because if they're doing that, then what are they doing on the market side against the stock, right? So, yeah. None of them off. Why is DJT creeping up? Time for puts yet? It's a good super chat question. If I get conspiracy theory again, just conspiracy theory. You have some very, 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 very wealthy Trump supporters, folks like Elon Musk, etc., who are purchasing large blocks of the shares to drive the price up. That's what I think is happening. So you probably have some pretty rich guys who know that this investment is a total loss because the company is garbage. It makes $700,000 a quarter while losing $300 million and has no prospects for growth. That it's going to collapse after Election Day because, the guy it's named after and the largest shareholder is facing prison time. He gets sentenced on the 26th of November. It'll just collapse. So they're purchasing now in the hopes to bolster, just maybe if he can pull out an election win, they can get the rewards from that. But I think that's the entire reason DJT is creeping up, because it's not offering any new services. There's talk about making like a streaming service for talking heads and having thousands of hours of content and whatnot. It's not going to happen. If it does, it should have been happening already, because I have a streaming show. I've produced thousands of hours of content, and I have a camera and I have a microphone, and that total investment is a few $100s. So I don't know where the $300 million they're spending a quarter is going, but my guess is not to a camera and a microphone. So, yeah. Ace Ventura, how are the Saudis keeping DJT afloat this long? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of... it's up to 20-something bucks, right? $27. It was up to 30-something earlier today. 32. Goodness gracious. So it dropped $5. Yeah. I would have thought after his brain broke yesterday that the price would have gone down a lot, but no, it went from 29 to 32 at some point today. So what is the options chain looking like on DJT? DJT options chain. Let's have a look-see. All right, so there's a few calls. The folks who got those 32s, and they didn't... Well, there was a lot of action on 32s. So there was 7,000 of those suckers traded today. So, yeah, a lot of that. But what are we looking at? Puts. So is that 27? So weeklies are still kind of expensive because there's been a lot of volatility. Although it's only at 187%. Weird. Man, if you bought these things, you bought them at $2, sell them at $6 today. Or these, sell them at $7. Nice. What about if we wanted to do post-election? Look at, November 8th? Right? Puts. At the money, $800. That's because the volatility's there. You can buy at where it was just a couple weeks ago for about $1. So that's going to cost you $100 for one of those suckers. These things are, the volatility has them really expensive right now. The volatility is over 300% on some of them. Those 23s are over 300%. But actually aren't that many. I would have thought more people would be getting in on stuff for after the election, betting that he loses. It's a lot at the $10 range, or $1,000 at $10 range. What about the monthlies for November? Let's look at the November monthlies. What type of volume do we have on these? Got a bunch at $2, because those are super cheap. Got not much. Not much at all. Huh. Buy these suckers at maybe 5 cents. If it does some draw, you can probably double your money pretty easily on these suckers. 30%, 33% change today alone. You still didn't get even close to that. So there's some put lotto tickets there. 44% change on the 9s. You're still spending close to $1 on that. 47 on the 13s. 39. Weird. All right. Well, I do think puts are you'll make money off puts on that thing. It's a terrible company. Absolutely terrible company that somehow is spending $300 million a quarter on unlicensed freeware. Like the program that makes for Truth Social, you get off GitHub for free. So you're not paying anybody royalties. Like it's a free program. It's maybe $10,000 a month in hosting because they don't have that many users. So how are you spending $300 million? Right, you're not making like blockbuster films. So I don't know, Ace Ventura. Saudis, billionaires. The whole Trump coin thing is another way for like international money laundering because you sell this coin and a whole bunch of international actors who you get in trouble if you just took money directly from them. You have to report yourself as a foreign agent, right? But you can take in millions of dollars from anonymous crypto accounts all over the world, and you don't have to report anything. I'm just selling coins. That's all I'm doing. I'm selling these crypto coins. It's straight money laundering. That's what it all comes down to. And then you rug pull everybody, and you make yourself a bunch of money, and walk away, just like Barron and Shkreli did with the original Trump coin. So, yeah. Pa Alma Carmage 7. DG making me bank shorting. Let's go. I don't know what that means, but yes. DG make me bank shorting. Right, monkey? Totally. Lisa saw 52-week low for no labs. Yeah, insane. Anybody has no palm reading Houston up in here? No. Julie's no palm reading too. I'm out. Colin picked up some at 19 cents today. Lisa saw. I couldn't help when I saw the price. Yeah, it's really cheap right now, and we're 10 days away as we have a shareholder conference call. So I do wonder what they're going to announce during that, if anything. Think they're going to announce anything, Monkey? You think so? Because on the 27th, they got to do the response for the delisting, which probably is announcing a partnership of some kind. But yeah, the monkey butt is wearing the lei at the moment that I got at the rather Tiki concert. She looks lovely in it. It's a lovely little lei. Yeah, I'll give you one of these ears, buddy. Yeah, come up here and show everybody your lei, though. See it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Macro turfs are using things not looking great for Kamala after post-Trump victory. Which country are you immigrating to? Things not looking good for Kamala. She's ahead in all the polls. 38 presidential polls. She's up 48.5 to 46.1. So she's up by more than 2% nationally. These are all the national polls. Crushing it. I think the only one that had her not ahead is Rasmussen. And Rasmussen, basically, you pay them for the results you want. Let's look at states. Can I get a state? Here we go. So, what we got? General election, she's ahead. Wisconsin. Actually, Wisconsin Patriot polling has her down by 1 in Wisconsin. Michigan, she's ahead in Michigan by 1. Morning Consult, general election. Okay, general election, she's ahead in all those. Nevada, she's ahead in Nevada. North Carolina, she's actually behind North Carolina at the moment. That's interesting. She had pulled ahead in North Carolina, and I think having an absolute crazy person who's Black Hitler running for governor is going to overall hurt North Carolina. Trafalgar, what's up with Trafalgar Group? She's behind Arizona. She's ahead in Arizona in like every other poll. That one seems. Arizona? What is going on in Arizona? Wall Street Journal has her ahead. That's interesting. Oh, yeah, she's going to crush Washington. Pennsylvania, ahead in Pennsylvania. She's got Pennsylvania by a few points there. Especially since he's brain turned off yesterday. I'm sure that number will change as well. Georgia, she's a little behind Georgia. She's ahead in Massachusetts. Texas, she's behind Texas, but that's Texas. Pennsylvania, those are older Pennsylvanias. Wisconsin, she's tied or behind by 1. Oh, that's from Donald J. Trump says she's behind. So, amazing how a lot of the inside ones by Donald Trump have her behind. But I'm still not worried. I think on a national level, she's going to get 300 plus electoral votes, and the dead guy monitor just crapped out right in time. Come on, dead guy monitor. You're doing this a lot more frequently now. But where am I immigrating to if he wins? I mean, ideally, somewhere with an EU passport. If I were to have to immigrate. Like Italy, Spain, Portugal, something like that. Cost of living is way lower. What I make off of YouTube, I could live like a god in like Spain. So even though here it's like it's not much at all. At times I do shows, it'll be like all be nighttime over there. But yeah. Lisa, did you see the Biotech penny stock drug today? Went up 1,800% on no news. Drug. Drugs.com. Stock price. Went from $2.55 to after hours peaked above 60. Oh, sorry, no, got to 60. 58.78. What is going on? Okay, this has nothing to do with, this is no reverse split or anything like that. $2.55 to $58 after hours. Bright Minds Biosciences. Yeah, market news, stock futures a little changed. Dow Jones, nothing mentioning them. Yeah, no news popping up at all. What the what? Do they have an options chain? Bright Minds Finances options chain. No, they are small enough they have no options chain. Currently at $45 after hours. So who did a pump on that sucker? Weird. Very weird. Very, very weird, we saw. Julius Miami were now considered maverick investors, according to Salvador. I'll take it. Colin. Saw there was $1 million in premium for November 15th, $20 calls today, too. November 15th. Let's look at November 15th. Boom. $20. There was 4,000 volume going on, so that's a lot. It's cheap. Oh my goodness, they're cheap. For that far out, $200. Applied volatility is so tiny right now. 66% for a month out? That's crazy. That is really crazy. Whoa. Huh. Yeah, if you're rich, if you got a lot of money, you can buy thousands of calls at $2 for a month from now on a stock that has shown historic volatility, especially in November every year. Huh. What about lotto tickets in that zone? They only go up to $45. $27. There's some lotto holders for that. Monkey. Even you are wondering about that. B-ball 3710. 1 in 2 Americans can't differentiate a man and a woman. It's because gender is a spectrum. My person. There are men. There are women. There are people born men whose brains are a female brain. There are people born as women whose brains are a male brain. And you got to rectify that point. Think about it this way. Ask yourself this. And this is a simple question to ask yourself. If you woke up tomorrow, let's say you're a dude. You wake up tomorrow in a woman's body. Right? You're like, oh shit. How did I get these boobs in this vagina? Right? I am now a woman. This is wrong. I was a man yesterday. You wake up suddenly in a woman's body. And your brain is like, this isn't making sense to me. Do you stay as a woman? You're like, well, the cards have been dealt. And you stay as a woman, you live as a woman, and you do all the woman things all day long. And you just resign yourself to it. You're like, well, I guess I'm a woman. That's what God made me, right? Or in your brain to go, this isn't right. I'm a dude. Why am I in a woman's body? And do you try to change back? Because that is the dilemma that folks who are born the wrong sex to the gender in their mind face every single day. Right? There's plenty of scientific studies showing that the brains are different. There are differences in the brains between the sexes, generally between men and women, and that people who are gender dysmorphic, who feel as though they're trapped in the wrong body, they have the brains of the other sex, the brain chemistry of the other sex in their heads. So they wake up every day and they go, why do I have the wrong genitalia? This feels weird. You know, I was meant to be a dude or I was meant to be a lady. And they spend a very confusing large portion of their childhood, you know, trying to rectify the fact that their brain chemistry does not match the body they were born into, right? Not only the fact, but we have, 1 in 75 births are intersexed, meaning they present genitalia of both genders. And often, those babies, the doctor asks the parent, hey, which gender do you want them to be? And they surgically assign a gender at birth to those children. And then they raise the child according to that. And it might not match actually what their DNA says, what their brain chemistry says. So we've got a portion of the population who are born that way as well. We have folks that are born women and have XY chromosomes. We have folks who are born as men and have XX chromosomes. Because, there could have been an environmental factor that altered the chemistry in the womb that forced a certain thing to happen. Wieners to appear or the opposite. So it's it's a personal thing, right? It's up to the person to make that decision for them. And I feel the same way about things like abortion. It's up to the person. They can make that decision whether they want to be a dude or a lady, right? People are like, oh, people, change sex, they're crazy. Well, wouldn't you be? Right? You spent your entire childhood probably getting gaslit by everybody, being told you aren't what you feel like you are, getting picked on, getting harassed, getting assaulted, right? Yeah, that is called CPTSD, and a lot of people have it. We also have folks who I think cling to changing their gender based upon the fact that they've got other things wrong with their brain chemistry. Folks who are diagnosed autistic are more likely to do gender reassignment surgery, and I don't know if it's necessarily because they feel like they're trapped in the wrong gender, or if it's a way of coping with not feeling normal, right? If you are autistic, everyone's like, person's a little off, right? And it's hard for you to match with people socially, and so you're going to figure out why do I not match up with society? Maybe it's because I'm in the wrong gender. Regardless, like, let people do their thing. Some people end up being happier. They find a community, whatever. I don't care. So, yeah, people can be whatever they want, and I don't care. I will fight for their right to do what they want to do in that respect, because it's not harming me. It's not harming anyone else. And drag shows are fun. MS says, Houston, ever been to South America? Rainbow Mountains and the Andes look to deserve a visit. I would love to go to South America. I have never been south of the equator. I've been to the tropics, but never south of the equator. I would love to go south of the equator so I could look at the southern sky and see the Magellanic Clouds. Monkey, we'll have to do that someday. We'll have to just get you on a steam liner and we'll chug old school style to like Brazil or something. Sound cool? Monkey's for it. She's give me a pig ear look in her eyes. But no, I've not been to the Rainbow Mountains. I have been to the Painted Hills in Oregon, which have kind of a similar geologic history. Why they've got those colors as well. T. Houston, think no labs will be able to get their device to market. I think with it being about 2 to 3 years away and the company being shorted hard, they'll struggle to raise capital and finish. That is always a concern, and I think what the shorts are counting on, which is why I think they need to get their application in sooner rather than later. I think at this point, I think the numbers are good enough. I think they can do it. Lisa Sa. Is frugality something we can train ourselves out of? Sometimes the richest people are stingy, but the poorest are generous. Yeah, it's weird, right? Like, my little sister's best friend's family opened a coffee shop. This is right before the economy collapsed. And I was in grad school, and they asked me, as somebody who worked in restaurants, hey, can you help us with this cafe? And it was in a terrible location. Absolutely. They were going to fail. I was like, sure, if you're going to pay me, I'll do it. And I was talking about this cafe, and it was next door. There's a little food bank next door. And we had this lady who was the mother of some kids I went to school with, and I knew they were filthy rich, like multi-million-dollar house on the water. She drove a $150,000 Mercedes G-Wagon, like rich. And she was doing all of her shopping at the food bank. She'd come and get an expensive coffee from us, then go next door and just basically take a bunch of food from poor people and then go home. So, like, people are weird. They're weird. Like, I don't know if I'll be able to break it in my brain. If I become rich suddenly and I go to the grocery store and it doesn't matter, like, I'm making thousands of dollars a day off interest in investments I have, and it'd be impossible for me to spend that much money, right? I'll go to the grocery store and be like, oh, the filet mignon's $25 a pound. That's expensive. I guess I'll get this crappy sirloin, right? I don't know if it'll break that in my brain. Or like the Heinz ketchup, the name brand ketchup is $4.99, but the Safeway brand is $1.99, and I get the Safeway brand. I don't luxuriate out. I don't know if I'll be able to break that in my brain. So yeah, I guess things like that can stick with you. I find it weird too. Like, I'll avoid doing something and be like, oh, it's like $40. I don't know if I want to spend money on that. And then I'll go over to dinner with friends and I'll easily spend $40 on a meal. Like, why was I willing to spend $40 on that meal, but not spend $40 on that 2-hour experience? Like, what? I don't know. Our brains are weird. So, Lisa, Dog Mom Houston, you are seriously the nicest guy. I'm not. I like my dogs, though. Right. Yeah. Chewing on that bone. Having a good time, monkey. Dizzy, do you see what drug did today? Holy crap. Holy crap, indeed. And I just saw that. What the what? What is going on? Why? Why? And why don't I have a options chain I can play with? Why? ¿Por qué? Shredder, 42, Houston. You seen the crazy drug squeeze yet? Well, yes, now I have. I'm not your friend is here. Aloha from Wahoo Raffle. Oh, fuck, I forgot to do this weekend. I forgot to do the raffle. Oh my gosh. All right. Note to self. Make the spreadsheet so you can do the raffle during tomorrow's show. Like, why? Why is that taking me so long? Because my car keeps being broken and my brain cannot do things while the car keeps being broken. Okay, Louis flashing the stickers. Go double intro. Houston, what's the likelihood of MMTLP pays off? Much lower since they lost the university lands. I'm sure they're scrambling to do something, but without the 100,000 acres and 3.5 billion barrels of oil in those 100,000 acres, a lot of the value is gone. And that's why I think the board needs to sue Texas. Sue them. File Freedom of Information Act requests, because they're going to have to show you their correspondence in those things. That's public. They're a state agency. That's public domain. That is public property. So do something, MMTLP board. Do something. Anything oneness, super chats. Are you vibing on Kamala Harris future interviews like Fox News or possibly even Joe Rogan Experience? Like, what do you think is the advantages here? Is she going on Joe Rogan? I've not heard that. Trump and Harris may appear on Joe Rogan podcast despite Harris could join Joe Rogan podcast and hunt for male votes, sources say. I'd be interested. I would be curious to see Harris on Joe Rogan because will Joe try to push back? Because when he does, he's got his little fact checker guy. So Joe will say something really stupid to push back on somebody, and then all of a sudden you'll see this like glow on his face, and the giant screen next to him will flash whatever the actual information is, and Joe will go, "Oh, whoa, well that just felt wrong. I didn't know that I was wrong." And just like, you know, that's the kind of way he does. So if I were Harris, I'd go on Rogan, because if you go on that, A, you open yourself up to a huge audience. B, you're smart enough that you can handle Joe Rogan and his absolute stupidity, because he doesn't know anything. He knows jack shit. He's a complete knuckle dragger. He is a 5'4" meathead. So, you know, you can look him eye to eye if you're Kamala Harris and you're 5'4". You could like maybe put him in your pocket. So yeah, I say do it. And she should go on something like Fox, because a lot of the Fox hosts, right? They're really good at being mean until somebody confronts them, and then they can't do it. So if they were to like try to confront Harris and be mean to Harris, and she spits something right back to him, they all of a sudden lose control on that. I think she would do fine. So she was maybe and a bad comedian. Oh, he's such a terrible comedian. The only good thing Joe Rogan ever did was read his lines on News Radio, which is one of the greatest sitcoms of all time. But that's just because they had fantastic writers, and for some reason were able to be bonkers for a show like that. News Radio in Space is one of the greatest episodes of television ever. But yeah, it's just, yeah, I say do it. I mean, I would go on Joe Rogan. I would spend the entire 4 hours just challenging him. It is really, really stupid ideas and stuff that he proffers on that show. And like, why not? Why not? Have fun with it. Do it. Turkish, where's the money, Wadowski? Somewhere, I hope. Patty cake, 1, 2, 3, 20 days, Houston, get that flag ready. Oh, it must be SS Minnow Johnson. Andrew VH, Obama just had to tell Trump that he'd never be president. But this correspondence dinner. Lone Wolf, Hitler did influence the VW bug, just saying. Interesting story about the VW bug. The VW bug was a rug pull. It was a scam. So they designed it as a people's car. And you got the stamp book. In the stamp book, if you fill out the stamp book with, basically you'd pay money, sort of like layaway, you'd fill out all the stamps. And if you fill out the stamp book, you would get a people's car. You get a Volkswagen Beetle, right? The thing is what the German government did was they took all the money from people who were filling up their stamp book with these little stamps. You're buying them at, 100 marks at a time or whatever, 10 marks at a time. You're filling out your stamps. They were taking that money and they were spending it on building tanks. And so when people filled out their entire stamp book, there was no car to deliver to them because they never actually set up an assembly line. And the Volkswagen Beetle did not become, like Volkswagen, the company, did not become a car of the masses until after World War II, when some British engineers who were touring these plants during the Marshall Plan to like rebuild Germany after the war, found the designs for the Beetle, prototypes for the Beetle in this destroyed factory. Like, you know what? I think we can probably make this into a car, a goofy little car. We got all the tooling right here. Let's do it. And so it was British military engineers who actually made Volkswagen Beetle a thing. And Hitler never did it. He only had a couple of prototypes built and then used it as a scam for everybody else. So it's amazing how these like fascist dudes like to run scams like that and not deliver on their promises. Very weird. Very weird, right, monkey? Yeah. Okay. Off the grid hero. Maybe they are focusing on the moon but tricking people with Mars. Maybe. Video guy. Man. Oh, crap. It's 4:37. I got to go on. One more. Man, I thought all the bad stuff happening was due to the Democratic weather machine, but turns out it's because we bombed a comet in 2005. That's it. That's when we flopped over. If I didn't get to your chats today, I apologize for the short show. I'll try to do a 2-hour one at some point tomorrow before I have to go pick up my mom at the airport. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night, and short show over. I have to run. Boom.